Hello, everybody. So, welcome to today's podcast, News for You. And today I'll be trying to answer the question, how do we find what we're good at? I'm your host, Stephen Fahy, and welcome to this brand new podcast that I've decided I'm going to go around 4 o'clock on a Thursday and tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So, make sure you pin those times in and follow me. Follow me across my social media channels as this goes out to most of my networks. Anyway, let's get into the question. I've been trying to really not rattle my brain, but trying to give out the best thought leadership on this one because this is quite difficult for a lot of people because we know that in January, a lot of people, including here on LinkedIn and just across the world, really, are trying to find new ways to get a better career. And what they want to do, what you want to do, is trying to find your new you. So you're trying to find out what you're good at in that process. And for a lot of people, that's very difficult. I share a story with you. When I used to be a business studies teacher, and a lot of my students would ask me, Steve, so how do I start a business or how do I know what career I want to do? Well, there's something in the teacher world and university that we do. It's called and it's all around professional development, a skills audit. Okay, and some of you work in the L&D industry, or some of you that are just generally, quite good on education, who might be a teacher watching this, you all know what I'm talking about. And it's just basically where you get a sheet of paper and you just tick off basically different things that you think you're good at. And surprisingly enough, we're not, as humans, we're not that particularly good at trying to reflect on ourselves and judge ourselves. We judge ourselves when we mess things up, but when we're conscious, we're sitting down in a chair, we think, you know what, I don't really know what I'm good at. And you have to, then this sheets, there's so many, I've designed loads over the years. I'll be using some more ones in my new community group soon. And you just basically write leadership 1 to 10. How good do you think you're a leader? Stuff like that. It's pre-interview questions, really. But the idea is that you can try to hone down on what you think you're good at. But I do think we're making a mistake traditionally. You talk about career development and management, especially this time of year in January. We all want to find better jobs and we all want to find better ways to just, live our lives and get a career that's rewarding. And that's admirable. We know that through generative AI and lots of other technologies that come in from last year to this year be expanded. AI is not going to go away. It's going to get better and better and better. And it's not going to replace us, but we need to understand where we can pick up leverage. So right, because AI might not be your interest. You might be an artist and you might be trying to sell something literally on Instagram. I know I've been speaking to a few local little micro entrepreneurs who want to sell their stuff on Instagram more. Okay, we know that social media platforms are getting busier and busier because more people are going online. There's over 1 billion people now right here on LinkedIn. And, there's so many people online right now, and the bandwidth is getting very small. It doesn't matter what type of content you produce. And even when you go viral, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to sell something. So, back to the question, how do we find what we're good at? You need to take a long, good look at yourself. And you need to say to yourself, right, okay, what am I good at? Right. And you don't answer that question. You sit down in a chair like I'm doing right now, and you switch off your mobile phone. You spend time with your thoughts up here. In my experience, I've used this myself. And this year, for example, I designed a new business strategy, a marketing strategy for my personal brand, and now I've got a new. Well, it's not. It was already there. It was called like a brand called Healthy Secrets because everything I do is about health, whether it's fitness or mental. I talk about health every day, and all my social media content is really about health. And it's because of the success of my TikTok channel. I call it a channel. It really is a channel at the moment. Um, it's because I'm able to just spin up short, sharp videos and just push them across my social media account. So on the one hand, I know that I'm good at social media marketing. On the other hand, I know I'm good at the health expertise because number one, I'm a growing expert in EQ. I'm a former teacher and I'm retrained to become a professional counselor so I can be an active practitioner, as it were. I'm not just somebody just talking about this, that, and the other with no backup. And I've gone through so many experiences in my life that have really shaped my health, good and bad. So for me, I'm good at I'm broadcasting to you. That's one of my skills. I love going in front of camera, as my friends would notice, as some of them might be watching on Facebook right now. But I think in life, we go through different obstacles, I call it. Okay. I don't want to use stress and mental health today. I just want to get to the real stuff. We go through obstacles, right? And those obstacles can be anything from you just got a phone call from a doctor to say, look, I want you to come in and see me. Or we've just been dumped, or we're literally just trying to find a new career and we're trying to carve out away a framework, okay, to better understand ourselves. And I think that's the important thing, because most of us, it doesn't matter what age you are, okay, unless you're above 60, maybe 70, even, doesn't, well, let's forget about age for a moment. We don't always know who we are because we don't always know what we're good at. And my argument is this: the only true way to find out what you're good at is by first being thankful for the things that you do have. Then sit down in the chair, then meditate on your thoughts, then do your checklist or your skills audit, and then start to pinpoint what you think you're good at. And then also do another list. Okay, this is a good tip for you. Write down the things that your interests, your hobbies, and pick one or two and invest in that area. So do some light free courses and see if you feel there's a career there for you. Now it might just be that you do a free course and it inspires you to start a business. Okay, and that's great. Okay. And I think we need certainly a lot more entrepreneurship in these tough times, because we're in the mid-January blues, as I call it, and we need to be more, innovative in everything we do, because, excuse me, at the end of the day, we get one life on this planet, and it's up to us to make a difference, not just in our personal lives, in our own families, but I'm talking about your community. That's why I stepped out recently and I've designed there'd be two. Well, they're kind of workshops, but they're like an open workshop where people can come in and meet friends and talk to me, a grand expert in mental fitness. I'm not using the mental MH word, okay, mental fitness, and that's good for me. Okay, I feel like I'm using my skills. I'm good at that. I'm a former teacher. I've done loads of workshops, and that's what I'm doing. So, on the one hand, to find out what you're good at, you do need passion, but sometimes people get carried away with passion and they say to themselves, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing myself. A lot of people, Generation Z, and you might be watching this right now, you might be a young person, I don't know. They get stuck and they feel like they have to do that one career. And I think that's the problem with education right now. Certainly in the UK, as a former teacher, a lot of our kids are pushed to go to university. They are so pushed, and they say, "Oh, you must get this degree or that degree, and this is going to set you up for life." Look at the world right now. There's 2 wars in Europe. Come on, wake up. Okay, it doesn't matter where you go to university. Even if you get a degree, you don't get a degree. What matters is that you find out the things that you're good at, and you use that to give goodness in the world. I say goodness doesn't mean that you're going to set up a charity or you're going to do something amazing like start a new social media platform. And if you do, that's great. What I'm saying is that you put kind of your money where your mouth is in one respect and say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm going to go for it. I was talking to my friend today. His name is David Black, and he's trying to he struggles with confidence on social media, and I've been trying to give him some coaching about trying to push it out, because he's trying to reach 1,000 followers on TikTok. Okay, you can find him on TikTok, and he's got a good voice, and there's a lot of people that are trying to promote themselves on TikTok right now because they feel they're good at singing. But I said to him, look, and he asked me, Steve, what do you think if I set up a GoFundMe page? I said, you're asking people to give you money. Okay, I know that there's another entrepreneur. I won't mention his name. He's doing great work. And it's all right to have a dream. Okay. But if your dream is to get rich, then you're just thinking of yourself. what about thinking what your business can actually do? And if you are a singer, and there's loads of singers that are sparking really, really good. There's a new landscape happening on TikTok right now where singers, independent singers, are promoting themselves and they're doing a pretty good job of it. And I said to my friend, I said, you need to put something, give out first before you ask people for something. So we don't get, in one way, we don't get to find out what we're good at until we understand what we're worth, and we don't know what we're worth unless we try new things. Okay, we have to try out new things, and that's important. A lot of people, including some of my friends and family, used to say to me, Steve, why are you doing all these different careers? And I was just experimenting because I felt I don't like being in one position. I like trying many different things. You know what? It's all paid off because now my social media presence is getting bigger and bigger. And I truly it's working in my favor because I want to help as many people with their different areas in their life that I talk about, which is social media, leadership, emotional intelligence, and mental fitness and physical fitness. And that's why my brand, Healthy Secrets, everything fits underneath that. So it's all working in my favor. My favor for me for not to get rich, I'm sure I'll make some good money eventually. But really, I found my niche or found something that I'm good at because I spent the last 10, 15, 20 years of my life from when I left college, okay, done all those different courses, and I'm still learning, I'm still retraining because every little course adds to my overall value of what I'm good at. And if I can increase that, then I can help more people. And that to me is an excellent framework to find out what you're good at. Experiment, do loads of different things. If somebody tells you, you know what, I think you're doing too much. Yeah, slow down a bit. Yeah, keep your health in check. That's important. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with you trying new things. And sometimes I know there's people out there that are trying new things and they don't tell their friends or family because they're scared of judgment. And I don't think there's only been moments in my life where I felt like that, but I can understand that because I speak to a lot of people as much as I can. And the feedback is that it's just, I'm not sure. What do you think? And I feel in my journey, certainly my entrepreneurship journey, I never really had a mentor. I just watch people like Gary Vee online and loads of other different people, Simon Sinek and some female entrepreneurs as well, the founder of Spanx, and there's a lot, and I still do. But equally, I want to be me in whatever I do in life. I still want Stephen the personality, and I think for all of us, it's different times. We don't all want to be an entrepreneur. I get that. And that's okay. Yeah. Don't make the mistake of thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm just not sure what I want to do. I'm just going to sit here and meditate on my thoughts. And I use that a lot because that's so important. And some of the things we need to do to find out what we're good at is lower our stress. And some of the best ways we can lower our stress is, in actual fact, switching off social media, okay, sitting down in a chair at least 30 minutes per day. And I talk about this a lot because our brains were not trained to watch as much content as we do. On the one hand, if you're starting a business, you've got to push out a lot of content. And I'm on social media. I literally live my life more or less on social media. That's my choice. But I do have breaks. I've learned the hard way to take breaks. And at the moment, I'm having a lot of fun mixing new videos with a click of a button here and there. My video is done in a couple of minutes, and I can just sit and lay on my bed and then just, come back to my phone and just check the comments and get involved in the conversation. Okay, that's pretty much my daily routine at the moment, as well as the gym and look body. So I'm having a lot of fun on social at the moment because I've worked for that and I've got a really good global large ecosystem. And Healthy Secrets, my new brand, it seems like it's going to do some really good things. And that's excellent for me. That's exciting because I think once you've built up your good framework of finding out what you're good at, and remember, if you're really confused, go back to the skills audit, sheet of paper, or just brainstorm out things that you think you're good at and the areas that you think you want to go into. That's excellent. And then Once you find out what you're good at, you start getting some momentum and you start having some fun, okay, you're on to a winner. Trust me, you're on to a winner. Doesn't mean you're going to be rich and famous, by the way, but it just might mean that you've found your purpose in life at that particular age, because we know that through life, our ages always change. And that's good. What we want to do changes, when we go through life, when we're 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And I say that importantly because when I, went through all my childhood stuff, which was quite bad, and then I went into counselling, as in received counselling. And one of the things my first counsellor ever said to me was, Steve, look, we go through life and we want different things. And you need to make a decision, a conscious decision about what you do at different age. So when you get to 30, you're going to be a different person from when you're 20. And you have to make that conscious decision. What do you want to do? I don't know what I want to do because I don't think I'm good at much. I like drawing, but that's okay. You build a framework around the things that you like, the things you're passionate about. And if you think you're not good at something, but you like it, you invest in it. What does that mean? It means that you do your courses and you invest time, you speak to people, you look at what's in the market. There is so much that we can do in life that we don't do, and we don't do because we're so nervous about judgment from other people. We all have to start living our lives more in a selfish way. We're still going to help people, right? But we need to find happiness in what we do. And we can only truly do it, I believe, in my humble walk on this planet, is by going through and finding out what we're good at. And I've explained all of that in the last 20 minutes. Okay, I'm not saying these 20 minutes are going to change your life. They might. If they do, let me know. Hit me up on my socials. I look forward to speaking to you. But I'm just saying, you know what? We need to be more experimental, innovation, creativity. Jump up and down. Go outside and just be yourself. I don't know who I am. That's okay. Go slow, go easy, and you'll be okay. Sit down, meditate, relax, eat well, sleep well, drink fluid. The simple things we can do to look after our bodies will put us in a much better state. And I think that's so important. So anyway, if I could just try to close and cap off and say what I've spoke about in today's show, and some of my key tips around trying to find out what you're good at. And it is a difficult question. How do we find out what we're good at? We have to invest time. You need to slow things down. You need time to work out your strategy. It might be different for every one of you. Some of you might go for pen and paper. Some of you go for a mental reflection up here. Some of you might, literally write an essay out, a day by day plan of action, literally what you're going to do. And that's fine. Different structures work for different people. And then that's what's great about finding what you're good at, because sometimes by doing that very process, we can find out what we're good at, because it might be writing, it might be video production, it could be loads of different things. I live my day every day now, okay, in 2024, literally we're over just under 3 weeks into the new year, the way that I feel I can help people, but also I take time out to relax and enjoy the process, because I know that I'm having fun. I'm having fun because, like this morning, I don't recommend you watch it, because it's not the greatest video I've done and I tried to do an Essex. I'm from Essex. I tried to do it's up on my Facebook. I think I've put it on Instagram Reels. I can't remember. I tried to do a mock Essex kind of gangster type accent and just say people stop fighting. It was against violence, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Some of my friends and family are going to watch it and thinking, and I think I literally said in the description, this man's on a different planet. And those that knows me closely know that I used to do quite a few weird, and I use the word crazy, even though I don't like using the word crazy, but I used to do some stupid things. And I think that, you know what, that part of me, gives me a kind of an edge on social media. I don't really do a lot of humor these days, but I think I need to get back into it a little bit more with a certain level, because I'm a born again Christian. So that means that I've got certain values. And I think that's my final point. One of the best ways we can find out what we're good at, literally, is by looking at our personal values. It does mean your personal brand, but I don't want to go into personal brand because there's too much conversation around that. I just want to use plain language on my podcast. You can be the person you want to be today, whoever you are, Sam, Jack, Sarah, Chris, Keith. I use the common names because I always remember the easy names. You can be the person you want to be, whatever that is, and hopefully you're doing some good in this world by simply, number one, being thankful, experimenting, and enjoying life. Now, I know that life is not perfect. I'm not perfect. The world isn't perfect. But what is the alternative? Are we just going to sit down and just do nothing? Or are we going to stand up and make a difference in our lives? Our lives for us to be happy, our families, our friends, as much as we can. We can't be there for everybody. I've learned that on a personal note. But we're all left with one thing in this world. That's up there, our thoughts. So we need to, when we're talking about find out what we're good at, we need to take a long and hard look at our inner self, our inner thoughts up here. Sometimes it's about working out different structures and systems to find out new ways to cope with stress. Some of you might suffer panic attacks. I've done loads of conversations around that, and you can find loads of videos of me across the internet, by the way. Just tap my name in, Stephen Fahey, and you'll find loads of stuff on pretty much any mental health topic you want to talk about. It's there. But getting back to the conversation about what you're good at, sometimes it's just about going for a walk and you meet someone and they encourage you to apply for a job and you think, I'm really not suited for that job. Some people call it luck. Just try. I've always been told I'm a try in life. And I think if you try, it's a bit cheesy. If you try, you will succeed. But I think there's a lot of science and good in that from a psychology perspective. And maybe I'll do an article tonight on that. I don't know, but we'll see. But anyway, I'm coming up to the half an hour mark, which is going to be my new cap now on this show. Just speaking for 30 minutes. Maybe in the future I'll have some guests. I don't know. I'll see how the podcast rolls out because it's an unplanned live. And the reason it's unplanned because I know that the human mind and emotions are very unpredictable. And the more random I go, the more viewers I get. That's my theory. I was speaking to a good friend of mine who may watch the replay of this. I don't know. And he's saying to me, Steve, I prefer it if you let me know like half an hour before, but I can't cater for everybody. Okay, so live social is going to be the main thing. Those of you in marketing, some of you are watching this on LinkedIn, by the way. Second to Gary V, I always say yes. LinkedIn live, all live across all platforms is going to be the new thing this year because the bandwidth on the platforms is so heavy. The only way to cut into that and a unique way to build your podcast and to slash your content up afterwards, record your live shows and then put it out to your networks, because that's really some of the best ways we can get our raw content out, because when you go live, your feeling is more energetic, if you can see. And most of my videos are quite boring, really. I'm just sitting there going, this is what you should do in your life. Where I feel more energetic. I feel like I'm in the newsroom. I'm going live. I'm on the podcast. I'm broadcasting all over the world, yeah? And only 10 people are going to watch me. I don't know, maybe they will. But anyway, the thing is about life and the thing is about social media and starting a business and finding out anything that you're good at, you just got to take the chance, the risk, the opportunity and go for it. Believe in yourself. I believe in you, and you need to learn to believe in your own heart that you can do things. So anyway, folks, thank you so much for joining me on today's show, News for You podcast. And I was trying to answer, how do we find what we're good at? And hopefully I've given you some backstory, some fruitfulness around some of the different ways from a career perspective, what, different ways you can find what you're good at. Start off with your skills audit. Not everybody is a big fan of it. I love it because I'm a former teacher. There's many different ways we can find what we're good at, and the best way, excuse me, is through experimentation. So try different things. Don't worry if you have 100 different careers. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I've did it. I've done it, and it's got me to a new place. Trust me. So anyway, join me again tomorrow night at around 7 o'clock. I'd say that safely. I always feel it's always good to reflect on the week, and I think I'm more comfortable doing a Thursday and a Friday show towards the end of the week, and just giving to all the thoughts I think that topics are really in culture at the moment. Some of the things we need to think about as humans going forward. Thank you so much for watching today's show. Join me again, as I said, tomorrow at 7 o'clock across social media. Follow me to get notified. That's the easiest way I'm going to do it. And I wish you a very safe and good evening. Thank you for watching. Stay well, be blessed. Good night, good afternoon, wherever you are.